Good morning, dear students. Welcome you all to the workshop on research methodology. So today we are going to discuss about how to write an extend abstract. The resource person for today's session is Dr. Nadisha Priyadarshini, attached to Accountancy Department. She will guide you and teach you how to write an extend abstract, because as you all know, at the final stage of your research study, so finally you had to write an abstract as a summary of the research study. So Dr. Nadisha Priyadarshini will help you out, and I welcome you all to this session and get the maximum and write a good extended abstract in your research study. Dear madam, good morning to you.
Good morning, Hashara Miss.
Okay,
Right.
madam. So you can take over the session. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Hashara. Right. Dear students, as Hashara Miss correctly said, uh, once you complete your research study, then you have to write an extended abstract. So it is also a compulsory requirement. Right. Then today, shall we learn how to write an extended abstract? Right. And first of all, shall we look at what is an extended abstract? Right. Then, throughout your research study, you may read so many articles. Right. Then, when you are reading an article, tell me what are the main areas in the articles. When we are reading an article, what are the main areas you have seen in an article? Because in this stage you have referred more articles, no? Sometimes more than 50 articles you may read. Then what are the main areas which we can see when we are reading an article? Right, but I think this should be an interactive session. If not, we won't be able to conduct. ඇත්තට ඔයාලා මේ වෙනකොට ආටිකල්ස් ගොඩක් කියවලා ඇතිනේ නේද? සමහර විට 50ක් විතර කියවලා ඇති. ඒතර මොනවද ඔයාලා ආටිකල් එකක දැක්ක main areas? Right. One thing, abstract. No, right. Then it is about half a page or sometimes one page document abstract. Right. Introduction, literature review, methodology, data analysis, and conclusion. Right. Good. Right. Then normally when we are writing an article, these six sections are there. First, we include an abstract, then introduction, literature review, methodology, data analysis, and conclusion. Finally, we add the reference list also. Right. Then, what is an extended abstract and how it is different from an article? Right. But the main difference between extended abstract and an article is in an article, we include literature review session. However, in the extended abstract, we don't write any literature review section. And also, sometimes we can include an abstract, but according to the guidelines given by the university, I mean, you have to comply with your university guidelines, no? Right then, in our university, when you are writing an abstract, extended abstract is not required. Right. Then let's look at then what is an extended abstract. And we can say extended abstract is a short version of a manuscript or an article or mini paper, right? Then it is sometimes a short version of the article, right? A concise summary of a research paper. Again, we can say it is a summary of a research paper, right? Then it provides an overview of the study's key elements, right? It is very important. Although it is a summary of a research paper or article, we should include all the key elements in the study, in our study. Right. Then longer than a standard abstract, but shorter than a full paper, right? Then you know what is abstract, no? Right. That 1 page or half a page document in an article, this is called abstract. Then how it is different from extended abstract? Extended abstract is longer than the normal abstract. එක්ස්ටර්නල් ඇබ්ස්ට්‍රැක්ට් එක අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි කතා කරන අර ආටිකල් එකේ මුලින්ම අපි ලියන ඇබ්ස්ට්‍රැක්ට් එකට වඩා එක්ස්ටෙන්ඩඩ් ඇබ්ස්ට්‍රැක්ට් කියන එක ඊට වඩා දෙකයි. හැබැයි අපේ ෆුල් ආටිකල් එකකට අපේ ෆුල් පේපර් එකකට වඩා කෙටි. Right. Then let's look at the extended abstract usually include, right? Then what are the components of extended abstract? It includes an introduction, then methodology, findings, and conclusion, right? So these are the four main sections of an extended abstract. In the extended abstract, we don't write any literature review. Right. Then in the introduction part, we should briefly introduce the research topic, then what is the significance of our study, and what are the research objectives or research questions. Right. Then in the introduction session, we can include these things. And then when we are writing the methodology, we should write what are the research methods, techniques, and approach we use to analyze our data. We will discuss this for detail in later. Right. Then in the findings section, we summarize our findings or the outcomes of the research. Right. Then conclusion. Then overall conclusion of the study. What is the contribution? What is the final conclusion? And how it? What are the implications of this? Then what is the conclusion of this study? Like that, we can write the conclusion. Right. Often used in conference submissions. Right. Then what is the importance of writing an extended abstract? Many conferences, you know what is a conference? Last time, so I think you are the organizations of organize. Uh, you have organized the Sapphire. Then, when we look at our faculty, we have another conference, ASIM. Sapphire is conducted by the department, right? Then there are some other conferences also, which is conducted by other departments or other universities, right? Then normally some conferences require this extended abstract, right? If you are willing to present in RSIM or Sapphire, then you have to submit the extended abstract, right? Then it provides all the key elements and all the required details of the research. Then a reviewer can have a good understanding by reading your extended abstract. Uh, if you wish to present in a conference, especially Sapphire or ASIM or any other conference in the outside, then you have to write an extended abstract. However, when you are writing an extended abstract, then you have to comply with the guidelines given by those conferences. Right. Then I have prepared this presentation according to the university guidelines, which you need to comply when you are submitting your extended abstract. Sometimes it may be differ from the SACFIRE or ASIM requirements. right. ඒතර ඔයාලා දන්නවා ඔයාලගේ ෆයිනල් රිසර්ච් එක සබ්මිට් කරද්දී ඔයාලා එක්ස්ටෙන්ඩඩ් ඇබ්ස්ට්‍රැක්ට් එක දෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒකට එතනට ඔයාලට ගයිඩ්ලයින්ස් කිහිපයක් දීලා තියෙනවා. ඒතර ඒ විදිහට තමයි මම ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් එක හදලා තියෙන්නේ. සමහර වෙලාවට ඔයාලා සැක්ෆයර් ආසින් වගේ කන්ෆරන්ස් එකක ප්‍රසන්ට් කරනවා නම් ඔයාලට ඒ කියන ගයිඩ්ලයින්ස් වලට මේක හදන්න වෙනවා. right then mainly you have to format this. Formatting sometimes may be different. Right. Then it provides enough detail for reviewers to evaluate the quality and relevance of the research without requiring a full paper. Right. I told when we send our research to the conferences, they require the extended abstract. So, since it includes all the required details in the extended abstract, reviewers are able to evaluate our research. Then they will decide whether they are accepting or not our paper for the conference. Right. If it is accepted, sometimes it may require the full paper also. Right. So this is the process normally we have to follow when we are going to present in a conference. First, we send the extended abstract, or sometimes they require the abstract. Then they will review it. Then later only, we have to submit the full paper. Right. I will answer your questions later. Right. If you have any questions, feel free to send me. Right. Then at the end of the session, we can discuss those things. Right. Then keep in mind what are the sections we include in an extended abstract. It is introduction, methodology, findings, conclusion. Right. Right. For the extended abstract, we have to select a suitable title. Right. Then how we select the title? You can keep your research topic as the title of this extended abstract, no matter. But if you don't include all the sections of your study, then you have to amend the research title. Right. However, this title should be attract to the readers. Right. Then it should attract the reader's attention. Right. Then, when we are deciding our title, we should make sure that it reflects the content of our research. Let's take this kind of title, Impact of Integrated Reporting on Financial Performance. Right. Then let's take we have conduct this study only for one sector. Let's take bank and finance companies. We have selected only bank and finance companies. Then we put our title as Impact of Integrated Reporting on Financial Performance. Right. Is it represent the content of your research? No, because we have selected an industry. Then in the title also we have to uh, write this or we have to mention this. And then we can put our research title or our title of this extended abstract as impact of integrated reporting on financial performance, evidence from Sri Lankan listed bank and finance companies. Like that, we have to include um, or we have to write the title representing the content of our research. Right. Then make it descriptive and concise. Right. Then it should be descriptive enough to reflect the content of our research. At the same time, it should be concise. Right. Then avoid technical jargon and abbreviations. Right. In the title, we are not going to mention any technical jargon and abbreviations. Right. Then many of you are conducting researches on SME, small and medium enterprises. Right. Then don't write SME in the title. Like let's take this impact of managerial skills on SME success. Right? Don't keep title as this. You have to give the full name of this SME. Impact of managerial skills on small and medium enterprises success. Like this. Don't include any abbreviations in the title. Right. I think it's clear. If we have check any mediating effect or moderating effect, we have to include that also, right? Right. Then let's take this. That's how you should format your title, and also you should provide the information about the authors and their affiliations, their email addresses. Right. Then when you put in title, then font type should be Times New Roman and size 14. You should bold and then sentence case should be center. Then these are the formatting guidelines. Right. Then one of the examples I have given the impact of integrated reporting on firm performance, evidence from listed companies in Sri Lanka. Right, then this is formatted according to these guidelines. Right, then once you write this title, then you have to give the information about the authors of this paper. First, you should write your name. First, you write the last name, then initials, then your supervisor's name. Here, this student's name, then supervisor. And then we should mention their affiliations, where they are attached to. Right. Then it should be Department of Accountancy and Business Finance, Faculty of Business Studies and Finance, Vamba University of Sri Lanka. Right. Then their email addresses. Right. We should underline the corresponding author. It means main author. It's you. Like normally, when you are doing a research with the supervisor, you are the corresponding author. So you should underline your name. Right. Then you know how to put the title for our extended abstract and also how to format this. Right. Then once we write our title and information about the authors, then we should write the introduction. Right. We take introduction as the heading. Then how we write this introduction? are we going to cut and paste from our dissertation? අපිට හරි ලේසි දැන් අපි dissertation එක ලියලා තියෙන්නේ මම දැන් තියෙන්නේ cut and paste කරන්න කියලා. The introduction it's related to your first chapter, you know. Then we take our first chapter, then we copy it and paste in a new Word file as the extended abstract. No, it is not the method. We should write an extended abstract. Right. In the introduction session, it means in your first chapter, you have written a research background, sometimes introduction, research background, then you have identified the research problem, then what are the objectives, what are the research questions, its significance, right? Then without copy pasting all the sections into introduction section, what we do by looking at the first chapter, we summarize all the things into one page or 1.5 page. හරි එතකොට අපි first chapter එක දිහා බලාගෙන ඒකෙන් copy paste කරන්න යන්නේ අපි දැන් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ළමයි කරන දෙයක් තමයි අර ඔක්කොම copy paste කරලා මෙතනට just නිකන් දානවා. නමුත් ඒ විදිහට නෙමෙයි අපි introduction එක ලියන්නේ. අපි first chapter එක refer කරලා ඒතර ඔයාලා දන්නවා first chapter එකේ අපි introduction එක ලියලා තියෙනවා background එක research problem significance objectives මේ හැම එකක්ම අපි එකතු කරලා 1 page නැත්නම් 1.5 page වගේ පොඩි summary එකක් තමයි මෙතනදී අපි ලියන්නේ. නිසා අර ඔක්කොම මේ විදිහටම copy and paste කරලා මෙතනට ගේන්න එපා. Right. Then let's look at what we should include under the introduction in an extended abstract. Right. Then in the introduction, we have to present our research problem. However, don't copy all the research problem, all the sentences we have written under the research problem into here. What we do, we take some sentences. You can take some, you can summarize that, no, what is the main research problem of this study. So you can take this. And first of all, you have to identify the research problem. Then, what are the objectives of this paper according to the research problem? We are going to solve that problem now. Then, what are the objectives of our paper? To what extent we are studying that, so we can include this score. Then, in the extended abstract, we don't include any literature review. However, in the introduction section, since we are not include any literature review, we have to include more relevant literature into the introduction session to justify our research problem. Then what are the current study regarding our study? Likewise, we have to include some literature. Right, then how we start our introduction session, we can briefly introduce our research problem. That's a research problem like this. Let's take integrated reporting, then we can tell something about integrated reporting. Most of the companies are using integrated reporting nowadays. Like this, we can say something. Then we can identify the research problem. If you are going to study about financial performance or let's take financial performance of relationship between integrated reporting and financial performance, then we can say, although many companies use this integrated reporting as a reporting practice, they have to bear high cost to prepare an integrated reporting. Then, although they spend a high cost, then sometimes users may not get the real benefit of providing this kind of integrated report. Then in this study, we are going to look at what is the impact of introducing integrated reporting to the company from the perspective of financial performance. Like that, we have to briefly introduce or briefly mention the research problem. Then we say what is our objective. We are going to start. Then we are going when we are presenting our research problem. Then we can include other literature. Also, we can refer the literature to present our research problem and also to give the present stated or current situation of this problem. Then we can refer other researchers. Right. Then once we wrote our research problem, then we mention what is our objective. We are going to study the impact of integrated reporting on financial performance. Then we briefly mention scope. We studied banking sector like that. Uh, we can tell about our research scope, right? Then that's how we are going to write the introduction session in the extended abstract. Right. Then let's look at methodology section. In the methodology section, we should mention what are the methods, research methods we use to analyze our data. Sometimes it may be quantitative, qualitative. So we should mention whether our study is qualitative or quantitative. And also you should justify your method, why we choose qualitative method, why we choose quantitative method. Like this, you have to justify that. Then you can briefly write about your research approach, philosophy, approach, how you have collected your data, which type of data you are going to use, secondary data or primary data, what are the methods you use to analyze data, some descriptive analysis, correlation, regression. Some of you may use some uh, advanced methods like structural equation modeling. Then you should briefly uh, write something about your research methods. It means what are the methods you use to analyze your data, and also you should justify why you choose those methods, right? Then describe the research framework. Then one of the important thing, you should include your conceptual framework here under the methodology section. You should include your conceptual framework. Once you give a brief introduction to your research methods, then you should include the conceptual framework. And also, if it is permitted, it means if there is no any limitations on the number of tables, you should include the operationalization table also. If it is applicable to your research, you should include your operationalization table. Then under that, you have to mention the research hypothesis also. Right. Then explain why chosen methods are sought for the problem. As I said earlier, we have to justify our research methods. No? If we use qualitative method, then we have to write why we use qualitative methods. So this is the best method to identify for the problems of this, like that. We have to write some justification, right? Then again, let's look at what are the things we should include under the methodology section. First, we have to give some brief introduction, or we have to briefly describe what are the methods we use, what is our research philosophy, what is our research approach, then what kind of data we use, um, if we use secondary data, for which period we collected data, then our sample size, then sampling method, then all the things we should include. Then we should include our conceptual framework. If we are having a conceptual framework, then we have to include that. Right, then operationalization table and hypothesis. Right, then these are the things we should include in the methodology section. Right, then under the findings, we can describe our research findings. Right, normally most of you are conducting regression analysis. Then uh, under regression analysis, we conduct mainly three studies: no descriptive, correlation, and finally regression. Right, then we have to give a summary of all these findings: descriptive statistics, correlation, and regression. Right, then we have to describe what are the findings of our study. Then if it is different from this kind of analysis, then if you are going to structural equation modeling or any other qualitative methods, then you should decide what we are going to include under the findings. Right. Right. Then last section, conclusion. Right. Then what are the things we include in the conclusion? Principles and generalizations inferred from the results. Right. Then in the findings session, we have uh, described our findings. Right. Under the conclusion, we are going to generalize our findings. Right. Then, if we take, we studied about integrated reporting and financial performance. Then, if let's assume we have found a positive relationship between these two, right? Then, under the conclusion section, what we need to write, then we have to write. According to our analysis, there is a impact of integrated reporting on financial reporting. Then we have to give supportings for this. If it is supported by any theory, then we have to write. This is in line with the agency theory or like this, then we have to uh, write if it is aligned with any theory. And also, not only we have to refer the theory, but also we should refer other previous researchers. Right? Then who are the other researchers who found the positive relationship between these two? Then again we can write these researchers found a same kind of relationship between these two variables. Likewise, we have to justify our findings according to the theories and other literature. Right. Then we write what are the limitations or problems, and if there is any exemptions, then we have to write down those things. Right. Then what are the limitations of this study? Normally, when you are conducting undergraduate research, we select some sector. If you are conducting research on SME, you are not going to collect data from the all the provinces. You select some provinces or some district like that. Right? This is one of the limitations. You have studied only this area, so you can't generalize your findings to the Sri Lankan context, but you can just generalize your finding to the area which you have selected. Likewise, what are the limitations of our study? Sometimes, if you collect secondary data, then there may be some limitations. Um, and also, if you develop some index, then sometimes there may be inherent limitations with those index. Likewise, you should mention what are the limitations of your study. And also, you can tell what are the theoretical and practical implications of your work, right? What is the impact of your result to the practitioners, right? Then, if we take our usual example, then if we found if there is any relationship between integrated reporting and financial performance, then we can say uh, our findings shows that there is a positive relationship between integrated reporting and financial performance. So, the managers who are not adopting integrated reporting for their companies, they can introduce integrated reporting. Likewise, you can give some practical implications of your work, or you can give recommendations. Right. Then conclusions drawn and recommendations, right? Like as I told you, you can recommend, you can give some recommendations, right? Then if there is any theoretical implications, if you use some any innovative method, uh, right? Let's say other researchers usually use regression analysis for this kind of analysis, but you use structural equation modeling. Then you can say this method is good, or this method gives more reliability for this finding. Like this, you can say some theoretical implications. Right. Then those are the things we should include under the conclusion section. Right. It is also about um, half a page, or you can take 1 page. Right. Half a page in between half a page and 1 page. Right. Then at the end of the extended abstract, you should give your reference list. Right. Then what is mean by references? So what is mean by reference list? Right. I told you we have to cite other researchers. We have to refer other researchers when we are saying our research problem, then when we are presenting current situation of our study, and when we are um, justifying our findings, then we have to refer other researchers' work, right? Then at the end of the extended abstract, then we have to give the reference list. Then under the reference list, we give full details about the other researchers' work, where we got those informations, right? Then, according to your guidelines, we have to refer APA referencing style. There are so many referencing styles, Harvard, APA, Chicago, like that. But you are required to follow APA referencing style. Then references should be listed in an alphabetical order. Keep in mind, you have to uh, order those reference lists into A to Z. It should be in alphabetical order. Right. According to your guidelines, you can prefer maximum 8 articles. Number of references should be limited to 8. So, we can cite only 8 articles. So refer most relevant and recent studies. අපිට දැන් 8යිනේ සයිට් කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. එතකොට මේ 8 ඇතුළෙන් ඔයාලා තෝරගන්න වඩාත්ම අපේ ස්ටඩි එකට රිලවන්ට් සහ recent studies. ගොඩක් දැන් 1970 ගණන් වල ආටිකල් සමහර වෙලාවට අපි රිෆර් කරලා තියෙන පුළුවන් අපේ dissertation එකේ. හැබැයි ඔයාලා extended abstract එක ලියනකොට most recent articles refer කරන්න. ඒතර recent 5 years වගේ ඔයාලට ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර මෑත් එක්කම නිකන් අපි ළඟම අවුරුදු 5 විතර තියෙන articles තෝරලා ගන්න. right? Then most of the students, what they do, they cut reference list from their dissertation and put into the uh, extended abstract. No, this is not the method, right? Then what we should include in the reference list, what we have cite in the body of the text. එතන අපි උඩ අර cite කරලා තියෙනවා විතරයි අපි reference list එකට ගේන්නේ. අපි හිතමුකෝ උඩ අපි අපි refer කරලා තියෙනවා එහෙම නැත්නම් cite කරලා තියෙනවා articles 20ක්. අපි reference list එක බලනකොට තියෙනවා articles 30ක්. එහෙම වෙන්න පුළුවනිද? බෑ. අපි අර බොඩි එකේ refer කරන අපි cite කරන articles විතරයි අපි reference list එකට ගේන්න ඕනේ. අපි එතන cite කරලා තියෙන articles 20යි නම් reference list එකේ තියෙන්න ඕනේ 20යි. ඒතර ගොඩක් ළමයි ওই දේ කරන්නේ. අර කෙලින්ම dissertation එකෙන් cut කරනවා මෙතනට ඇවිල්ලා paste කරනවා. ඒක නෙමෙයි අපි කරන විදිහ. පැහැදිලි නේද? ඒතර මෙතනින් පස්සේ අපිට දකින්න බෑ ඒ වගේ ඔයාලා submit කරන reports. Right. Then when we are writing your extended abstract, please limit your references to 8. මොකද ඒක දැන් university guideline එකට අනුව අපිට articles 8ක්නේ අපිට refer කරන්න පුළුවන් නිසා ඒ guideline එකට comply වෙන්න. ඒතර 8ක් maximum ඔයාලගේ extended abstract එකේ refer කරන්න. ඒ 8 reference list එකට දෙන්න. Right. Then let's look at how we cite and how we prepare the reference list according to APA referencing. Then one of the several different referencing styles used for publication, papers, essays, and books, right? As I told you, there are several different referencing styles, APA, Harvard, like that. However, we are using APA referencing style. It is established by the American Psychological Association. That's why this is an abbreviation. We call APA, American Psychological Association. Right. Nowadays, we are using the 7th edition. It is the latest edition published in 2019. Right. Using the APA style of referencing, you must acknowledge the source within the text by citing the author's last name and the date of publication in parentheses. Right. Then this is how we cite according to APA reference style in the body of the text. එතන අපි extended abstract එක ලියාගෙන යනකොට අපි cite කරන්නේ කොහොමද? මේ විදිහට අපි හිතමුකෝ අපි වෙන article එකකින් ගන්නවා එක statement එකක්. එතනදී අපි ඒ author ගේ last name එක දෙනවා. ඒ වගේම publication year එක දෙනවා. Right. Then that's how we cite an article in the body of the text. Moreover, you must give full details of each item in an alphabetical reference list at the end of your assignment, right? Then, if we cite some researchers or authors like this in our text, then at the end, we should give the full details about their studies. Who are the authors, in which year they have published, and what is the title of this, and where this is published, like this. We have to give the full details of this. Right. This is called reference list. We prepare that at the end. Right. Citing in text. It means when we are writing extended abstract, how we cite others' work. In-text citations are brief references in the running text that direct readers to the reference entry at the end of the paper. Right. If we are telling something which other researcher has found, then we have to refer that research. No? Then let's say one of the researchers found um, adoption of integrated reporting is very less in Asian countries. Then we can't say that statement as our own statement. We have to refer that researcher. Then how we refer that researcher in the body? Then let's take his last name and the publication year. Right. That's how we refer in the body of the text. You include them every time you quote or paraphrase someone's ideas or words to avoid plagiarism. Right? The next problem we have to face is plagiarism. If we take some statement from other studies, then uh, it is under the fault of plagiarism. Then what we need to do? We can't take their words as it is, we have to revert that, correct? Right. Then we call it paraphrase. We have to paraphrase these sentences, right? An APA in-text citations consist of the author's last name and the year of publications, right? Then when we are referencing other researchers in the body of the text, then we include author's last name and the year of publication. Right. When you are writing these in-text citations, there are two forms. We call it parenthetical versus narrative citations. Right. Then let's look at the difference between these two methods. In parenthetical citations, we emphasize the statement. According to a new research, then we tell about something. Then we provide details of the author within brackets. Smith 2020, like that. Then in narrative citations, if we want to emphasize the author, then we take author's name first. Author, then within brackets, we put the published year. Then Smith notes that, then we can say Smith notes 2020 notes that Asian countries, if not adoption of integrated reporting is less in Asian countries. Like that, we can emphasize the author. Then we take author's name first. If we take like this, we call it narrative citation. If not, we mention the statement or we write the statement, then within brackets, we give the details of the author. Within brackets, first we take author's last name, then year of publication. Right. There are two examples for this. Parenthetical citations, let's take that. They take the statement first. No? It is important to avoid plagiarism in academic writing. Who said that? Smith 2020. Right. If not, we can write this in narrative citation model. Smith 2020 states that it is important to avoid plagiarism in academic writing. Right. I think it's clear, no? Right. Then if we want to emphasize the statement, then we use parenthetical citation model. If we need to emphasize the researcher or the author, then we take narrative citations. Right. Then let's look at if we are having two or more authors or multiple authors, then how we put those citations in the body of the text. In-text citation changes slightly when a source has multiple authors or an organization as an author. Right. Then let's look at how we cite if we have one author, two author, or more authors, and if you are having an organization as the author, let's look at how we cite those. Pay attention to fluctuations and the use of the that simple and we use no, right. Then let's look at how we cite if we are having one author, right. Then we take the last name and publication year. If we are having two authors, what we take last names of these two authors, and here we take that and symbol, right? When we are using parenthetical citations. However, according to APA style, when we are using narrative citation style, it means if we are going to emphasize the authors, we write and in letters. We don't use the symbol Smith and Jones. Right. Then let's look at three or more authors. If we are having three or more authors, we are not going to mention all the author's last name. What we do, we take the first author's last name, then we take et al. And others. It means Smith and others. Smith et al. Right, 2020. Right. In narrative citation also it's same. Smith et al. We take year of publish within brackets. Right. Then if we cite an organization, let's take central bank or statistic department like that. Again, we take the organization name and the year of publication. And the narrative citation also, we take organization name, then within brackets, we put the year. Right. So that's how we cite in the body. Right. Then another problem we are facing when we are citing those articles, there may be some missing informations. We can't find the published year. Right. Then what we do? Right. When the author, publication date, or locator is unknown, take the steps outlined below. Right. Then if we miss the author's name, then what we do, use the source title. We take title of the article instead of the name of the author. Right. Then if we miss the date, we put in the date. It means no date. Right. So this is one of the example. Smith, we don't know the publication year, then we put in the right. Then page number. If it is required to put the page number also, but however, when you are referring article, we don't want to put the page number, but if you are referring a book, then we need to mention the page numbers. Either use an alternative locator or omit the page number. If we don't know the page number when we are citing a book, if we don't know the page number, we can follow any other alternative. If we know the chapter, then we can put that, no? Chapter 3, chapter 4, like that. If not, we can omit this. Right. Then that's how we are dealing with those missing informations. Right. Then another important thing, combining citations or multiple citations. Right. If we want to emphasize more researches, or let's take there's one statement. Let's take our usual example. level of adoption of integrated reporting is very low in Asian countries. Right? Then we write this statement. Then several researchers has mentioned this. In Sri Lanka, there are some researchers state this, and in India, Pakistan, then there are several researchers mentioned the same thing. Then how we cite that? Right. Some students follow this method. Smith 2020, then again close the brackets, and again they put other researchers within brackets, Jones, like that. However, this is not the correct method. If you have many studies, or if we have multiple studies, then how we cite that? We open the brackets, then we cite the first article, Jones, comma, publication year. Then we put semicolon. Then again the next article, then again put semicolon, then other article, right? Like this, we can refer uh, 2, 3, 4, or 5 articles, right? So you should keep in remember how to cite multiple articles, right? Right. Then formatting the APA reference page, then let's look at how we prepare our reference list according to APA style. On the reference page, you list all the sources that you have cited throughout your paper. Place the page right after the main body and before any appendix. Right. Then where we put our reference list after the main body of the research or main body of the document. Then uh, once we finish our conclusion part, then we start the reference list. However, this reference list should be before the appendix. Right. Right. Then this is one of the examples of reference list. First, we mention the section label references. Right. Then what are the things we need to keep in mind? It should be arranged according to alphabetical order, A to Z. Right. Then how we format this, hanging indent, no? Then it means first line uh, is like that. Then other lines, it should be hang. Right. Then uh, here there are so many different sources they have cite. We will learn one by one later how we are going to refer journal article and web page, book citations, how we do it like that. Right. Then let's look at how we refer journal article. Right. First, we write the author's names. List each author's last name and initial as own. Initial as, this is the example, author, then comma, initials. Right. Then again put comma and second author's last name, initials. Right. If we have 3 authors, then before the last author, we put and we use the symbol, not the words. Under the APA style, we use that symbol. Then last author's name, then initials. Right. Right. Then we put year of publication within bracket. Then put full stop. Right. Author's name, then year, full stop, the title of the article. Right. The title of the journal, it should be italic, right? And capitalize each word in the journal. These are the formatting guidelines. It should be italic and capitalize each word. Then we put volume number and the issue number. We put issue number within brackets and page range, number of page numbers. No, page range means page numbers 105 to 113, like that. Then if there is any DOI, then we can put that. Then directly we can copy that DOI and paste in the Google. Then directly we can go to the article. If we have any DOI, we can mention that also. Right. Then one of the example for this then let's take they are having how many authors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Right. Then there are 9 authors. No. Then what they have done? Author's last name, then initials, comma, last name, initial, comma. Then you have to keep more attention on these full stops and comma. Right. Then before the last author, we mention that and as the symbol. Right. Then here we put in the within brackets, then full stop. Right. And then uh, title of the article, understanding the best trans experience of woman, like that. You can mention the title of the article. Then again full stop, right? We put again full stop. Then we take the title of the journal. It is in italic. So italic කරනවා අපේ journal එක. Right. Then comma 13 within brackets 6 mean 13 volume 6th issue. Right. So we put volume and within brackets the issue number. Right. Again comma page range, page numbers. Right. Then full stop. Then we put, if you are having any DOI, then we can put that DOI number. Right. Right. That's how we should mention the articles which we have cited in the main body according to APA style. Right. Let's take, we refer a book, then how we do that. Author's names, as we discussed earlier, author's last name, then initials, year of publication, right? Then full stop, title of the book. Now we have the title of the book now, right? Then edition. How we put edition or within brackets, right? Here, 5th edition, right? Then we mention the publisher, right? Keep in mind here we have to put the full stop, then publisher, right? That's how we refer a book, right? Then nowadays we have to refer more online news or online articles. Then let's look at how we do that. Author's name, no any change. We take author's last name and initials, right? Year or month, day. Now, if you're having any online source, we couldn't find the it means we should mention the date, month, and year because online publications may be changed now. If you are referring online article, a magazine article, then it may be uh, updated or maybe changed. So we have to mention the date which we refer that article. Right. Then it is like this 2021 July 9. It should be mentioned within brackets. Right. This is when we refer that article. Right. Right. Then we put the title of the article. Right. Then title of the online newspaper publication. If there is any title of this online newspaper or any publication, then we put that. Here it is Psychology Today, like that business news. Uh, like that, there may be some topic, no? Right, then we take that. Right, then we should give the URL. Right, we have to copy that and we have to mention the URL. Right, then these are the guidelines how we refer a journal article, book, or online article. Right, then how we refer a web page, authors list each author's last name and initials as author. Right, then no any different. If we are having any author, we can take their names as previous last name, comma, initials. Right. However, if there is no author, spell out the name of the organization or site. Right. When we are referring some web pages, we can't find any author's name. Then in this case, what we can do, we take the name of the organization or site. Right. Here it takes organization centers for disease control and prevention. Right. Year, month, date. Again, we have to put the year, month, and date when we refer that article or when we refer that web page. Right. Provide as specific a date as is available. Use the right. If not, we can use the date of last updated. Right. If there is no any date, again, we can put ND within brackets. Title of page or section. Again, we put the title. And finally, we give the URL. Right. Then that's how we refer a web page. Right. Then is it task to prepare a reference list like this? We have to um, more careful about full stop, what we call comma, brackets, italic. Then it is not an easy task to prepare this reference list, right? If you are doing it manually. So nowadays, there are so many methods to we can generate our reference list. Sometimes you may know some methods, no? If you know some methods, please share with මොනවද ඔයාලා දන්න reference list එක අපිට generate කරගන්න පුළුවන් විදි. සමහරවිට ඔයාලා මේ වෙනකොට use කරනවත් ඇති. මාත් එක්ක share කරගන්න බලන්න මොනවද ඔයාලා දන්න methods කියන එක. Right, Mendeley, no? Right. One of the common software which we can manage our references. Right. Right. In Word also we can get the reference list. අපේ Word එකේ මොනවත් පුතේ reference list එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. However, according to my experience, students are not giving all the details about an article. So then it generates reference list incompletely. If we look at students reference list, there are so many mistakes. So sometimes if it is generated through Word, sometimes we can't edit also. As reviewers or as the supervisor, I can't edit that. So I would like to share my experience. This is the method I used for my research. There is a page, if I right, I will unshare this and I will show that. Right, you can use this link to go that web page. Here we have to give the article's title or URL. If you are having the URL, we can put the URL. Then it automatically generates the reference. Again, we have to select the reference list. Right. Then one of the example for this, once I give the title or the DOI, then uh, it generates this one. Right. This is the reference list entry. මේ විදිහට තමයි අපි මේක reference list එකට දෙන්න ඕනේ. author's name මේ comma, full stop, brackets දෙන්න ඕනේ ඒවා. italic වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒවා ඔක්කොම එයා හදලා දෙනවා. And also it mention how we should refer this article in our body of the text. If we use parenthetical method, this is the method. Or if we use narrative method, that's how we should cite this article. So I think this is very helpful. Right. I will share that one. There are so many sites. In Quillbot also you can get that. Is this visible to you, this web page? Right. මේ වෙබ් පේජ් එක පේනව නේද පුතේ? ඔයාලට? Right. Right. Here, cite a web page, book, article, and more. Right. Then here, we have to include title, or if we have URL or DOI, ISBN number. If we are referring a book, then we can include the ISBN number or any keywords. Right. Then let's take one of the article title. Right, and let's take title like this. Integrated reporting and firm performance. Right. Then here you can give the title of the article, or if you are having the URL, then you can copy that and paste here. Then cite. Right. Then this suggest uh, some of the articles related to this topic. So if our article is this, let's take this one. So we select it. Right. Then it gives all the details. How we should refer this in the reference list and how we should refer this article in the main text. Right. Then you can copy it and paste in the Word document. Right. Then if you are preparing your reference list, no need to copy one by one. You can search all the like, when you are writing your extended abstract, you have 8 articles now. Then no need to copy one by one. You can search all the 8 articles, and then finally this generate the reference list. Then finally you can copy and paste it. Let's take another one. Financial leverage and performance. This is the title of our article. No need to type because you can copy and paste from the article. Then click on this button, site. Then let's take, this is the one we need to review. Right. Then again it's given. Right. Right. Then once we search like this, it includes all the articles which we search here. Then we can select all the articles and copy. And we can just paste in the Word document, right? So it is automatically arranged in the alphabetical order. එතකොට මෙතනදී අපිට ආයම alphabetical order එකට arrange කරන්න දෙයක්වත් නැහැ. මේ විදිහටම alphabetical order එකට arrange වෙලාම තමයි ආ list එක හැදෙන්නේ. ඒතර දැන් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපි ළමයින්ගේ ආටිකල්ස් බලනකොට මෙන්න මේ අර in-text citation කියන එකත් ගොඩක් වැරදි. ඒතර මෙතනදී අපිට මේ වෙබ් පේජ් එකෙන් අපි කොහොමද මේ ආටිකල් එක බොඩි එකේදී සයිට් කරන්න ඕනි කියන එක පෙන්නනවා. ඒතර ඒකත් අපිට එක වාසියක්. පැහැදිලි නේද? හරි. එතකොට ඔයාලට මේ ක්‍රමය උනත් යූස් කරන්න පුළුවන්. right? So you can use any other methods you know, or you can follow this method. Then this is one of another online citation site. එතන මේ තව site එකක්. එතන මේ මම ගොඩක් වෙලාවට use කරන්නේ මේ site එක. ඒ විදිහට පුතේ තව ගොඩක් site වලින් මේ විදිහට අපිට online reference list එක හදලා දෙනවා. එතන මෙතන මේ තියෙන්නේ අපිට style එක select කරන්න පුළුවන් APA 6th edition එක මේ APA 7th edition Chicagoද Harvardද ඒ විදිහට අපිට මොකද්ද method එක කියන එක select කරන්න එනවා. මෙතන අපිට එනවා වෙබ්සයිට් එකක්ද මේක බුක් එකක්ද ජර්නල් එකක්ද ඒ විදිහට සිලෙක්ට් කරන්න. Right. So these are two examples of online referencing websites. Now we can discuss what are the common errors you are doing when you are writing your extended abstract. එතකොට අපි දැන් දැකලා තියෙන උදාහරණ වලට අනුව මම කීපයක් තෝරගත්තා මොනවද ළමයි ගොඩක්ම extended abstract එක ලියනකොට කරන වැරදි කියන එක. Right. Then one of the mistakes you are doing is you put subheadings under the introduction. As you are mentioning in the first chapter, you take significance of the study, research problem, research objective, research questions like this. You put subheadings under the introduction. However, when you are writing an extended abstract, we are not putting any subheadings, right? Then here it mentions objectives. However, this is not the method we mention the objectives. We should mention the objectives under the introduction section. However, we should write our objectives as paragraph. In this study, we are going to examine the impact of cost control techniques and this. And also, we are going to study the impact of like this. We should write our objectives as paragraph. මෙතන මේ paragraph එකම තමයි continue කරගෙන යන්නේ objectives කියලා මේ විදිහට 1 2 කියලා එහෙම ගන්න එපා. පැහැදිලි නේද? Right. Then the second mistake you are done is you copy and paste your output tables as it is and put into the extended abstract. So this is not the method we should do. Right. You can copy your output tables from this software which you are using. Then take this table into Excel file. So මුලින්ම Excel file එකකට එහෙම නැත්නම් වෙනම Word document එකකට ඔයාලා මේක paste කරගන්න. Then you have to edit that table. There are so many unnecessary things now here. Period in cross sections. We know we don't want this information period. Dependent variable, it should be mentioned. So no need to mention in this table, but we can mention that here in the title or in other place. Right. The number of observations, it is not required. Right. So there are so many unnecessary informations here in the table. Also there are some unwanted things, no? When this is a regression model, then normally we are not describe this standard error. If we are not describing this, we can remove that. Likewise, you have to edit these tables. Then when we are editing these tables, again you have to follow the guidelines given. ඉතින් අපි දීලා තියෙන guidelines වලට table එක edit කරන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් මේ විදිහට අර output එක ඒ විදිහටම අරගෙන copy paste කරන්න එපා. ඔයාලගේ dissertation එකටවත් extended abstract එකටවත් අර software එකෙන් එන output එක ඒ විදිහටම copy paste කරලා තියන්න එපා පුතේ. ඉතින් ඒක අපිට දීලා තියෙන guidelines වලට අනුව අපි edit කරන්න ඕනේ. So another example here also copy and paste the descriptive statistic table. Right. Then under the conclusion also, most of the students take subheadings, implications, recommendations like this. However, although it is correct when you are writing dissertation, but it is wrong when it comes to the extended abstract. එතන අපි extended abstract එක ලියනකොට මේ විදිහට conclusion එකේ subheadings අපි ගන්නෙ නැහැ. Implications, recommendations. මොකද කරන්නේ අපි එකම පැරග්‍රාෆ් එකක් විදිහට තමයි ලියන්න අපිට. පැරග්‍රාෆ් කඩන්න පුළුවනි. නමුත් මේ විදිහට සබ් හෙඩින්ස් අපි ගන්නෙ නැහැ කන්ක්ලූෂන් එක යටතේදී. Right. Under the methodology, you can take subheadings. Right. But in other sections, in especially introduction and conclusion, we don't take any subheadings. Right. Then another mistake you are doing when you present your conceptual framework, most of the studies having control variables. What students do, they link control variables into this arrow. This arrow represents the relationship between dependent variable and the independent variable. However, this is not the method. We should present control variables. It should directly link to the uh, dependent variable. Right? It should directly link to the dependent variable. It should not link to the arrow or the relationship between these two. We can take uh, controlling variables here, controlling variables, and we can link that directly to the dependent variable. If we take like this, if we link this into this arrow, it is moderating variable. This is the way we show moderating variables, not the controlling variables. So if we want to present controlling variables in our conceptual framework, we have to link these control variables directly to the dependent variable. Right. Again, one of the examples, this is a table. However, no any table number, table title of the table, and if there is any source, we should mention the source. Right. So be mindful about those things. Right. It says summary statistics, but no any table number. Right. This is one of the reference list. However, these are incomplete. මේ මෙතන ආටිකල් එකේ නම නෑ. ඒතර මේක මම හිතන්නේ මේ වර්ඩ් එකෙන් ගත්ත එකක්. ඒතර වර්ඩ් එකේ වැරද්ද නෙමෙයි පුතේ. වර්ඩ් එක අපිට නියමාකාරයෙන් දෙනවා reference list එක. ඒතර අපි එතන information දෙන්න ඕනනේ. මේ තමයි අපේ journal එක, මේ තමයි title එක ඒ විදිහට. හැබැයි ළමයි මොකද කරන්නේ? මේ informations අවශ්‍ය කරන ඒවා දෙන්නේ නැහැ. එතකොට මේ විදිහට incomplete reference list එකක් තමයි අපිට ලැබෙන්නේ. පැහැදිලි නේද? හරි. මේ තමයි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ළමයි කරලා තියෙන ප්‍රධාන වැරදි. Right. Then if you are having any questions, this is the time to discuss. Do we need to include two separate topics for the final thesis as abstract and extended abstract? නෑ පුතේ. abstract එක කොහොමත් ඔයාලගේ thesis එකට එනවනේ. thesis එකේ part එකක් abstract එක. extended abstract එක අපි ඉල්ලගන්නේ වෙනම. එතකොට ඒක thesis එකට include කරන්න එපා. ඒක වෙනම document එකක්. ඒක වෙනම staple කරලා වෙනම දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක thesis එකේ part එකක් නෙමෙයි. හැබැයි abstract එක අපි thesis එකේ include කරනවා. අර abstract එක මතකයිනේ නේද? one page වගේ තියෙන document එක. keywords එහෙම අපි ලියන්නේ. extended abstract එක කියන්නේ වෙනම එකක්. දැන් ඇත්තටම අපි extended abstract එකක් ළමයින්ගෙන් ගන්නෙ. ඔයාලා අපි Sapphire හරි එහෙම නැත්නම් ASIM හරි නැත්නම් BM එකෙන් කරන conference එකක් තියෙන්නේ. YASIM හරි ඒ වගේ මොන හරි conferences වලට අපි ඔයාලව present කරන්න දානවා. ඒතර ඒ වෙලාවේදී අපිට ඕන කරන්නේ extended abstract එකක්. ඒතර ඒක අපි ඔයාලගේ තව අනාගතයටත් හොඳයි කොහොමද extended abstract එකක් ලියන්නේ කියලා දැනගන්න එක. මේ extended abstract එක වෙනම document එකක් විදිහට තමයි submit කරන්න ඕනේ. we can't find the cited author's article. So um, how do we write the citation there? Right. Right. Let's take when we are reading an article, in that article, we found a good statement, and it is cited from, let's take John 2020. Right. Uh, there's a question like this. If you are reading an article, that's a statement. It is cited. Right, let's take, when we are reading this article, let's take this article written by, let's take Fernando 2023. Right. When we read this article, we found an statement cited from another article, John 2020. But we couldn't find this original document. Right? දැන් අපි ආටිකල් එකක් කියවද්දි මෙන්න මේ විදිහට ස්ටේට්මන්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා සයිට් කරලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් අපි කියවන්නේ මේ ෆර්නෑන්ඩෝ කියන එක්කෙනාගේ ආටිකල් එක. ඉතින් මේ ජෝන්ස් කියලා එක්කෙනෙක්ගෙන් තමයි මේක සයිට් කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒතර මේ කියන ආටිකල් එක අපිට හොයාගන්න බෑ. අපි කොහොමද මේක අපේ ආටිකල් එකේ සයිට් කරන්නේ? Right. We again put the statement, don't take as it is. You have to paraphrase this or rewrite this, and within brackets we put John 2020 as cited by Fernando 2023. මෙන්න මේ විදිහට තමයි අපි ඒ වගේ ආටිකල් එකක් අපි ප්‍රිෆර් කරන්නේ. හැබැයි පුතේ මේක ඒ තරම්ම හොඳ ක්‍රමයක් නෙමෙයි. අපිට පුළුවන් නම් මේ ආටිකල් එකම හොයාගන්න. ඒක තමයි බෙස්ට් වේ. මොකද මේ විදිහට අපිට සයිට් කරලා තියෙනකොට ඒක අර good side කියන්නේ හොඳම ක්‍රමයක් නෙමෙයි. නමුත් එහෙම තියෙනවා නම් අපිට සයිට් කරන්න වෙන්නේ මේ විදිහට. පැහැදිලි නේද? අපි original author ගේ නම year එක දෙනවා as cited by the article which we referred, Fernando 2023. පැහැදිලිද? Right. Some articles can't be found in subscriber. Then what we need to do, right? Then if we can't find that article, we can give the information manually. I will show how to do that. ඔව් පුතේ සමහර ආටිකල් විතර අපි දැන් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට Google එකෙන් වගේ හොයලා ගන්න ආටිකල්ස් වලදී අපි ටයිටල් එක දුන්නාට සමහරලාට එයා ඒක ඩිටෙක්ට් කරගන්නේ නැති වෙන්න පුළුවනි. අපිට උදාහරණයක් මට ඒක හරි අපි මේකට ගමුකෝ. රිසර්ච් ගේට් වලින් වගේ එකක් ගමු සමහරවිට මේක නැති වෙන්න. DOI නම් එකක් තියෙනවා කියන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට තියෙනවා. අපි try කරමු. It's there, no? Let's take this one, an analysis of state of sustainability. Right. Then we found this article from Google. Then we take the research topic and search. Right. Then it is not mentioned in the recommended list. අපි දැන් අර අපිට ඕන කියන ආටිකල් එක මෙතන යාලා පෙන්වන්නේ නැහැ. කියන්නේ ඒක යාලට හොයාගන්න බැරි වෙයි. Right. Then what we can do, we can uh, give those information manually. Right here, we have option cite manually. Right. Then we have to select which one we want to cite, a web page, report, video, journal article, book, or online newspaper article. Right. Let's take journal article. Right. Then source type, whether it is a journal article or conference proceeding like this. Let's take journal article. Then we give the title. Then if there is any journal, we give the journal name. I think here no any name. This is like a dissertation. No? Right. Then we have to add authors. Title, they are not required. However, we should give last name and initials. Let's take, we have two authors, then last name and initials. Then we can give volume number. Let's take 10, issue number 5th. Then if you are having DOI and all the things, we can include at the site source. Right. Here in this way, I have not included the date of publication. So they recognize as end date, no date. Then they have suggest me how to add this into the reference list and also how we mention this article in the body of the text. පැහැදිලි නේද? එතකොට මේ site එකෙන් අපි ආටිකල් එක ගන්න නැත්නම් අපිට මේ විදිහට මැනුවලි එන්ටර් කරන්න වෙනවා. නැත්නම් මේ අපිට අර අපේ වෙබ් බ්‍රවුසර් එකටම මේක අපිට ලින්ක් කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතකොට එයා එතනදිම සෝස් එකේදීම citation එක දෙනවා. Right. Any other questions? Right, then this is the guideline given by the department how to write an extended abstract, general guidelines. Then it should include these four sections: introduction, methodology, findings, and conclusion as references. Then this is the formatting guidelines. A4, page size should be A4, margin 2.5 centimeters on all sides. Likewise, uh, it's given formatting guidelines. And also you have to uh, format your tables like this. There should be a table number and the title. If there is any source, you should mention that. This is how we should format our figures when you are presenting your conceptual framework. You should align with this figure. We call it figure, then we have to number it and we should mention the title and also the source. Right. Then another document is there. This is formatting guide, general guideline or formatting guideline. Right, this is the template. Can you see now? Right, this is the template you have to follow when you are writing your extended abstract. Right. Then if you have any other questions, you can ask. පොතේ ඔයාලට තව ප්‍රශ්න ගැටලු තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න පුළුවනි. Right. If not, we can wind up the session. Thank you all for your participation. Wish you all the best for your future and also your research works.